It was a rainy night when my daughter Mira and I finally moved into our new house. It was an old place, but it felt like a fresh start. The previous owners had left a few things behind in the attic, mostly dusty old boxes filled with furniture and books. Mira, being the curious 6-year-old she was immediately drawn to a box of old toys. She begged me to let her keep them. I hesitated. For a moment there was something unsettling about them, but I could unsay no to her excited face. How much harm could a few old dolls do? Among the toys was this one porcelain doll. Its glass eyes were just a little too lifelike, and its painted lips were curled into this faint, knowing smile. A crack ran down its cheek, which, for some reason, just made it look more real. That night, after dinner, Mira lined up all her new friends in her bedroom. The porcelain doll, a wind-up monkey with cymbals, a worn-out teddy bear, and a toy clown. She gave each of them a name and played with them for hours until I finally tucked her into bed. But around midnight, I was woken up by a strange sound. Asterisk, clink, 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 asterisk. It was a faint metallic sound, and it was coming from Mira's room. My heart started to race. I crept out of bed and tiptoed to her door, peering inside. The sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. The toy monkey was sitting upright, slowly, deliberately, clashing its cymbals together. And Mira, she was fast asleep, completely still. I rushed in, snatched the monkey, and flipped it over. The wind-up key hadn't been touched. There was no reason for it to be moving. Shaking, I threw it in the closet, slammed the door, and tried to convince myself I was just imagining things. The next morning, Mira looked troubled. "Mama," she asked, "who played with my toys last night?" I told her no one had, that they were right where she left them. But she shook her head. "No, they moved. The clown was by my bed, and now he's on the table. He told me he wanted to play." I froze. "What do you mean, he told you?" Mira just smiled innocently. "He talks when the lights go off." That was it. That evening, I decided the toys had to go. I didn't want to scare Mira, but something was deeply wrong. After she was asleep, I gathered them all into a box and carried it up to the attic. I placed the box in the darkest corner, feeling a sense of relief wash over me. But as I turned to leave, I heard it, the soft, echoing sound of a child's laughter. The air in the attic turned frigid, so cold I could see my own breath. I scrambled out of there, slamming the attic door shut behind me. Later that night, the sounds returned, but this time they were louder. I could hear toys rattling, the monkey's cymbals clanging frantically, and what sounded like whispers. I ran to Mira's room, terrified the noise would wake her. But when I opened the door, she was already sitting up in bed, her eyes wide with fear, clutching her blanket. "They're angry, Mama," she whispered. "They don't want to stay in the dark." I rushed to her side, holding her tight. "It's okay, baby. They're just old toys. They can't hurt you." And then the bedroom light flickered, once, twice, and then plunged us into complete darkness. In the suffocating silence that followed, we heard it, the unmistakable sound of tiny footsteps pattering across the floor. Mira screamed. I fumbled for my phone and turned on the flashlight. The beam cut through the darkness and landed on a sight that will haunt me forever. The toys were back, all of them, lined up at the foot of the bed, facing us. The porcelain doll's head tilted slowly to the side, its glass eyes gleaming in the light. And then, in a faint, chilling whisper, it spoke. "Don't take us away again." I grabbed Mira and ran. I slammed the door, locked it, and called my friend Anjali, my voice trembling so hard I could barely speak. When Anjali arrived, she was skeptical, thinking I was hysterical. But then she heard it too, the sounds from upstairs. The toys were banging against the door, their soft laughter echoing through the house. And Jolie, who never believed in anything supernatural, looked at me with wide, terrified eyes and said, "We have to burn them." Together, we went back into that room. We grabbed every last toy, carried them out to the backyard, and threw them in a pile. I lit a match, my hand shaking, and dropped it. The toys caught fire instantly, but instead of melting, they screamed, a shrill, piercing sound that sounded horribly human. A thick black smoke swirled up into the air like a storm cloud before finally vanishing into the night. The next morning, the smell of burnt plastic was gone, and an eerie calm had settled over the house. Mira seemed quieter, but she wasn't scared anymore. "They're gone now, Mama," she said softly. The dolls said goodbye. I hugged her, overwhelmed with relief, believing our nightmare was finally over. But that night, as I was tucking Mira into bed, my eyes fell on the windowsill, and my heart stopped. Sitting there, perfectly intact, was the porcelain doll. Its painted smile seemed wider, more menacing than before. I snatched it, ready to destroy it for good. But then I saw something new. The doll's hands. They weren't porcelain anymore. They were small, flesh and blood hands. Tiny, familiar hands. When I looked closer, my stomach dropped. They looked exactly like me. Just then, the doll's eyes blinked once, and in my daughter's soft, sweet voice, it whispered, "Play with me, Mama."